There are many areas that need our focus in 2019. Firstly, we need to ensure humanitarian financing for humanitarian operations. Every year we put out a humanitarian appeal for different crises that design the needs of the people and are asking for money. So globally, the average financial contribution is only 60% of the funds required. And in some countries, even those who get little media attention, like Cameroon or Ukraine or the Central African Republic, it's much lower. So financing for the humanitarian assistance is key. I would say a second area we need to focus on is to ensure that humanitarian access is enabled and there is respect for international humanitarian law. A lot of humanitarian workers work in the most difficult and conflict-affected areas, and where civilians are put at harm and even aid workers are being killed. And the third area that needs attention is that we see there is an increased fragmentation and also a threat to multilateralism. So we need to work together. We need to engage various stakeholders to find solutions for global challenges. Digital tools already have an impact on the way of delivering humanitarian assistance. For instance, I saw myself when I traveled to Burundi in February that I met a family of refugees. They had spent some time, or at least a year, as refugees in a camp in Tanzania, and they came back to their homes. And their data, which was collected in the refugee camp in Tanzania, was already digitally transferred to the aid partners. So they had the opportunity to get a national identity, to access services, kids could get enrolled in schools. So this is really shows how digital connectivity can also make a difference in sharing or transfer of data. And another example is when I was in Eastern Chad, I saw how digital payment is done. So women I met, they shared with me what it means for them to have a digital cash. It was a program by the World Food Programme. They said we can decide ourselves what we want to buy, and it gives us also dignity. But there's also danger in using digital tools and data. We have a responsibility of data protection when it comes to personal data. So with our OCHA data center for humanitarian data, we are providing or developing guidance that is practical, how to really make sure we don't do any harm by using and managing the data of people that are already vulnerable. Well, it's great to be here again, and it's a fantastic opportunity to engage with different stakeholders, to learn from partners in the private sector and how the private sector can support humanitarian development goals, and to really leverage on innovation for global solutions. We need to particularly make sure that we don't leave anyone behind. With now 2/3 of people connected or having a mobile phone, there is still a gender gap. We have to make sure that women are also included, particularly in humanitarian crisis. They are affected differently, and it's so important that we also take care of people with disabilities. So I wish someone developed an app, for instance, that could alert people with disabilities in a natural disaster where to find and how to find the closest shelter. So there's a lot of opportunities to discuss challenges, but also find global solutions by tapping into the vast experience and the innovation of the mobile industry.